Welcome to Zen in a Moment, episode 65 with Zen Cryer DeBrook. So we're continuing on this series that I'm doing on wealth and abundance. And one of the things that I've noticed in the years that I've been playing with this for myself and teaching other students to do that at the Smart Soul Academy is that we really do have this interactive experience with the world around us, but most of us don't know how to leverage it. See, we're programmed between the ages of 0 and 7, and lots of our programming comes from witnessing the people around us. So the abundance and wealth conflicts that our parents had or our grandparents had or the community with which we lived in or the school that we went to, these things have a tendency to have an impact on how we feel and think about wealth and abundance. And what I found is that in each of these communities, you'll get somebody who will be successful, right? Or you'll be taught through your seeking of how to become successful, how things have to happen. Now, let me give you an example of this. If you were raised in a community where there's a lot of people that are in the service industry, okay, then you're most likely going to be looking at creating a service industry job. Now, service industry, I mean, that could be a handyman, a plumber, an electrician, a carpenter, somebody who is a server at a restaurant or a real estate agent or an attorney. I mean, these are all service-related industries, right? Now, if you're raised in a community, by community, I mean family, I mean everyone around you. If you're raised in a community of people who are entrepreneurs, then you're going to be focused on creating your own business, okay? And so whether you have a grocery store or a line of clothing or, something that you've invented or a widget that you get out into the world, right? Whatever it may be, you're going to be focused on being an entrepreneur. If you're raised in a community of people who make money, but they take their money and they make money with money, people who do investments, they can also be buying real estate and doing rentals, right? You spend your money in order to make more money, then that will be the trajectory that you'll go in. And then there's also people who are raised in communities where things are given to them. Maybe it be through a charity, it be through donation, or they were just raised in a way in which magic and synchronicity are the norm and things just arrive. They just come to them. Opportunities are there. I have a few friends that are like that, and I love to watch the way the world works around them because it just simply always works out. They say they want $100,000 and it comes somehow, in some fantastic way. And they're as delighted and pleased by it as I am watching it happen. So this is really very important because when it comes to wealth, which remember I defined wealth as your health, your intimate relationships, your time, your energy, the stuff that you have, the money that comes into you, all right? There's the play that you have, all kinds of ways in which our life is wealthy. We can have, I know people who are incredibly wealthy and everything else in their life is falling apart. They're estranged from their children. They have been divorced 6 times. They are, their health is really poor. They do not take good care of themselves. They drink too much. They smoke cigars. Sounds like I'm only talking about men, but I'm also talking about women in these areas. And they're miserable because they're not truly wealthy. They simply have money. And that's a big difference. One of the big things that shifted for me as I began to bring more wealth into my life on all levels is I realized that I consistently tried to control how things got to me, meaning controlling the how of becoming wealthy. So let's just take money because it's easy, all right? And then I'm going to apply it to the other areas of wealth. So I would sit down and say, okay, I would like to get a new car, and that is going to cost X amount of money. And in the work that I do, that means that I'm going to have to do X amount of work over X amount of time in order to create that. Now, I'm controlling the how. I'm not just simply asking for what it is I truly desire and then going back to being of service. What I'm doing is I'm trying to figure it out for myself. I'm trying to declare what I have to do in order for something to happen. The interesting thing about this concept is it's completely false. In fact, when you declare how something must get to you, what will happen is you've limited the capacity for that thing to get to you in such a way where there may be 10 other easy ways for the desire that you have to arrive or be achieved. But because you're so hyper-focused on this is where it's going to come from, the magic and synchronicity that's naturally in our universe just by us existing with this beautiful divine life force energy inside of us can't operate in the way that it would want to. And very often, these things that we're saying, this is how it's going to happen, or this is what I need to do, or how I need to be in order to make it happen, stops it from getting to us. And so when I stopped that, when I just said, I need a new car, right? And I don't know how it's going to get here, but I want the car to do this, this, and this. I want this gas mileage. I'd like it to be peppy. I'd like it to be comfortable. I want to be able to do long drives. Every car I've had, when I was in my 20s, I wanted a car I could sleep in the back of. Every car has had a different thing that I've needed from it. And as I got into my 30s and was more in the professional realm, I wanted a car felt really good driving up as a consultant so that they could see that I had success in my life. Not status necessarily, but just that I can get you I'm successful and I can support you in being successful. When I opened it up that it could get to me in any way, shape, or form, it started to happen, and it started to happen quickly. When I started saying, I don't know how, but it's going to be that or something better, it started showing up. My father bought me a car out of the blue, and it was shocking because that's not something he would do ever. And we were going somewhere and we had to leave separately. And so he was following me in my little beater car in my late 20s. And I pulled up to the gas station, and he got out of his car and was kind of walking around my car and looking at it. He goes, this car is really a piece of, what? And I was like, yeah, but it gets me around. It's got good gas mileage. And he goes, you need a new car. I want you to figure out what kind of car you want. I'm going to buy you a car. Out of the blue, would have never guessed that. I have had so many beautiful things, and now I'm going to apply it in other areas. A lot of times we will say in an intimate relationship that we have with someone that we care about, that that you want to be closer to them, and how that has to happen is by them changing. It has to happen by them spending more time. You're like, this is how I will feel more intimacy with this person, is if they spend more time with me. I will feel it if they respond to my text faster, if they, talk to me in a particular tone of voice. Your health. You decide that you want to lose 20, 30 pounds, and then the next thing you know, you're declaring that you're going to have to go on a low calorie diet. You're going to have to start working out with weights. You got to get this many hours of cardio in. And there are many ways to lose weight. People are dropping one item, starch, which I guess there's many items inside of starch, but starch, potatoes, rice, bread, out of their diet and losing 15 pounds almost overnight without any effort. And so when we open up to the fact that it can come to us in any manner, and we actually setting something out there that we really truly want, and we stop ourselves from starting to figure it out for ourselves all by ourselves with the limited knowledge that we have, and just let it be that or something better is what I say. This is what I want to have happen, and it'll be that or something better. Then what will happen is that article will arrive about quitting starch, and this person, multiple people losing X amount of weight by just stopping this particular eating habit. Or the person will come up to you and suddenly say, I want to get closer to you. Maybe we should go away every, once a month for a weekend, or let's schedule a Wednesday call, or whatever it is. It starts coming to you. The ideas, the books, the resources, the actual physical, tangible item, the cash, the energy, the time, the sleeping better. You'd be amazed at how many people out there who wanted to sleep better. That's a wealthy practice, is having great sleep, right? Eating great food, feeling great all the time. That's wealth. And so sleeping better, they just suddenly decided that they were going to put their priority on having great sleep. They started getting tired earlier. They cut out sugar at night, which has a tendency to have your pancreas get activated, which causes insulin differences, and then that wakes you up. They found a sleep machine. These solutions start coming to you. So the most powerful thing that I can offer you in you becoming wealthy is really focus on what you want. Make sure it opens you, that you feel an expanded, relaxed, yummy feeling in the center of your body when you think about that thing happening. Okay, that's really important. So use your IGS and make sure it opens you, because that's the easiest. First of all, it's the thing that you're supposed to have. And second of all, with the opening, you're in no resistance. So it's the most powerful, easiest way for something to arrive. And then go about your day. Get back into flow. Focus on what you're here to do today and let it go. And I like calling it being in divine fascination. I'm going to sit here and be divinely fascinated at how this thing shows up in my life. All right? So don't control the how. Only control the what that you desire. All right? Okay, so if you want more of this information, if you want more of these Zen in a Moments, you can go to SoundCloud. We are now on SoundCloud, and everyone is uploaded as it's uploaded and sent to you. And so we've got a whole list there. They're all there at this time. Type in Zen in a Moment at soundcloud.com. It's completely free. You can binge these. You can please share these, forward these along. I really want other people to be able to get access to this information as well. And you are the best conduit to make that happen because you're enjoying them yourself. And I am sending you love and blessings. I hope you go forward and have an incredible day. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my Zen in the Moments mini pods. I'm on a mission to eliminate mental fear in the human species. I truly know that the closing of our internal guidance systems is letting each and every human being on the planet know that what they're thinking is out of alignment with what is going to create love, harmony, compassion, discernment, and peace. And that if we all learn to follow our internal guidance system, discover our openings, we will be in flow and in harmony together, and we can create the world that we love. Now, this is not something we can do by ourselves. That is why I have created the Fear-Free Human Collective. The collective is a community of people who've come together to get training on how to use their internal guidance system. It is an amazing experience to be with a group of people who are looking at their closings, taking responsibility for them, and then working together to find openings. Because when those openings happen, magic and synchronicity are the norm. If you are interested in having a group of people who are going through this experience together and are changing their worlds to where, miracles become the norm and we can celebrate them together as we have an extraordinary life by influencing people with our opening and our love and our compassion, that I want to invite you to go to BeFearFreeNow.com, BeFearFreeNow.com, and become a member. We have a free level, a level that is $27, $47, and $97, depending on how deep you want to go with the training and how much coaching access you'd like to have, and to be in a group with me, to be able to be in a discussion with me on how are we going to make this happen on this beautiful, exquisite planet we live on. So please come check it out. I'd love to have you join the fun. Join us all at BeFearFreeNow.com. Thanks so much. I'm sending you love and blessings. Bye for now.